When it comes to the bathroom renovation, you need to kind of have an idea, a vision of what it is that you want. Bathrooms at first need to be practical and they need to be safe. You need to think about the space. Are we trying to keep the same space, just with a updated design? Are we trying to re-envision that space? Like, for instance, if you want to move things around a bit, maybe you just don't like the layout. Sometimes people will take and get rid of 2 small bathrooms and make them into one. So without going through all the details, you need to have a good vision. It needs to be clear. You got to have a sense of certainty of what you want. From there, that kind of weeds away what level of work that you really need. Maybe you just need a new shower, Maybe it's just you have a fiberglass unit and you don't like it and you want a nice tile shower, But if you want an all-inclusive, a complete renovation, all the features matter. So having a plan, having a vision is the first thing I suggest. And it needs to be clear and simple. You don't have to be an architect. You don't have to be an artist. You can jot down ideas. I suggest people jot down their must-haves, right? So must-haves are things you absolutely will not compromise on, of things that you must have. And then there's things that are nice-to-haves. So a lot of these you won't really be able to know until you meet with the contractor you decide to go with. So let's talk about contractors. So from my experience, people, they fall into two different categories. You can go with a handyman who has some general skills and knowledge. It's nothing against them, they're good. But they may not have the proper license to be able to pull permits. So you need a general contractor, a residential contractor. There's different levels of contractors, but at minimum you need to be a licensed residential contractor, at least in the state of Georgia. Florida's the same way. And what does that mean exactly? It means that there's someone who has met a certain specific set of requirements, they've taken a state exam, and they've passed, or they have access to those people in their network. Then obviously that person needs to be, in addition to their license, they need to be insured, right? I would highly suggest someone go with someone that has workman comp, right? That protects the homeowner. General liability insurance, builder's risk, so we call it COI for short, your certificate of insurance, right? It's just a little document. Do your due diligence, right? This is all in the front end. It can be overwhelming. It doesn't have to be. If you know someone in your network, ask around. Ask your friend who just had their house remodeled, or their bathroom. I don't refer to our clients as customers. We don't have customers, we have clients. Clients stay with us for a lifetime. And that's the idea, is that they always want to come back to us. That's the level of service we provide. We provide a deep level of service. With my family business, it's more of a boutique service, right? We are here to provide whatever level of service the client needs and wants. From the very start, from A to Z. I like to tell people that with us, the only 2 things, they don't have to worry about anything, right? So be there for selections, be there whenever it's time to make a payment, and beyond that, we take care of everything. It's my job to work with a client. I create my team and I, we create the budgets, we keep people on track. Everybody's on a budget. That makes sense. There's an economic side to things. And depending on what level of quality that you want, it's very important to stay ahead of the game on budget, because otherwise you will exceed your budget, both financially, in terms of economics, and also timelines. Timelines are important. The typical bathroom renovation takes anywhere from 4 to 6 weeks to do it properly, and that's for a full bathroom renovation. Circling back around to your question on the front end, the 2 most important things is have a clear vision of what you want. Be fairly clear. Include your must-haves. Bathrooms are a costly endeavor. They're not expensive, they're costly. Expensive is something that adds no value or creates no value, right? You're just spending money to be spending. But costly items is, there's a cost associated with it, but it adds and creates value. There's a return on investment. We have a process that we've been doing it's a roadmap to success is what I call it. And it's basically from design, from the thought, right? Everything starts from the thought, you want a bathroom, right? All the way to the pre-planning, to permitting, to getting a blueprint created. You have to have a blueprint. So essentially, we've built your bathroom on paper before we actually build it in the real world. And what that does is whenever, let's fast forward to whenever we do start on day one, that is a guide, it's a go-to guide to make sure that we're meeting the expectation that we created sitting at the table drinking some nice coffee. Or I got people that are exact opposite. They know exactly what they want, you know, they have a clear plan, all that. We're here for anyone, you know what I mean? And my answer is the same to everyone. I need to come out, let's meet in person, let's have a talking session on the front end, and while I'm there, my job is to ask questions first, right? So I ask a simple question. I ask it to y'all. How can I be of service to you? And then I listen. And I keep listening. I am in the business of solving problems for my clients. Simple. If I can be a solution to your problem, I will let you know. If I cannot be a solution to your problem, I also will let you know. Maybe we're not a good fit. And if we're not, then I will do my best I will let you know that. And if I know someone who's a better fit, I will recommend someone. But if I don't know someone that I would put my name behind, I will not. I won't just tell you what you want to hear just to hear it. That is not cool. The other thing is I would rather disappoint you now in the beginning than really piss you off later. And you don't want to do that. You know, bathrooms are costly, especially full renovations. They can swing anywhere from, on the low end, 40 grand, 35, 40,000, all the way over 100,000, or even more, or somewhere in the middle, you know. But a typical bathroom, a nice master bathroom renovation, is somewhere in the 50 to 65 range. That's a good medium. Hey, if you want to know more about us, I highly suggest that you go online to DHRAC.com. That's Douglas Home Renovations and Construction.com. See you next time.